Let's get it. As one Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork you will not get anywhere else. Let me get into this. Let me get into this, man. Recording this Super Bowl Sunday, February 9th, Super Bowl Sunday, 2025. Who'd have thunk it that the story, part of the story, is not Bill Belichick winning the Super Bowl, but the story is Bill Belichick winning, absolutely winning with a 24-year-old girlfriend that he has shown up to at the NFL. Now, this isn't some, on the low, hitting it on the side and, not keeping it quiet. This is red carpet NFL honors. She's wearing his rings and he's walking. So there was a couple things, and I wasn't sure when I was going to address it. I knew I was going to address it at some point, given that, we're going into Valentine's Day, and I have been told, I've been known to give some incredible relationship advice. So I'll sort of be addressing some parts of what I'm saying throughout the week. But let me just get to my initial reaction, because I was somewhat torn. I was somewhat torn in three places. First place is the football guy. The coach is like, way to go, coach. I see you, big coach. I see you, dog. I see you, coach, was kind of giving him praise. But then there's the uncle side of me, the father in me, the potential, the stepfather in me, the teacher in me that is around young girls. Like I said, the uncle in me whose niece is turning 16 this year, and you're like, coach. And then there's the human side of me that has actually lived this. I was in my early 20s, and I was pursuing a young lady who was 24 in that age, and I was the one who lost her to an older guy as a Bill Belichick. So I'm thinking about the young 20-year-old guys that are just coming up and trying to really catch their stride, and they saw her as someone that they could be with and build something with. And I gotta tell you, someone that has been burnt by this. Like, again, if you've ever seen that movie Big Daddy with Adam Sandler, when he loses his old girl today, he's like, this old guy? I mean, the crushing feeling from that. There's going to be a team that loses the Super Bowl today, like I have lost multiple championships in my playing career. And I got to tell you, the feeling of losing a woman that you are super connected with, compatible with, you see a future with this woman, the feelings of losing her to some older dude that you didn't even consider as competition, that feeling is worse than losing a championship. Losing a championship is it's nothing compared to how you feel when it comes to that. Again, I'm a person that actually lived it. I have been that guy that lost a potential suitor to some older white guy that was her boss of all things, that easily could have been her granddad. And I would see him and I would never even consider. I actually thought it was her uncle. I definitely thought it was her uncle. That was the thing about the way the whole situation was, because I thought it was her uncle, and me being an uncle, I would if it was me and my niece, I'm like, I would be doing some of the things, but I never. And the thing is, it wasn't one of these things where she told me directly. I had to find out via social media and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, like I said, I'll be getting through some of those things throughout the week as we approach Valentine's Day. Here's what I want to emphasize to the men. All right, I want to speak to the fellas. Excuse me. I want to speak to the fellas in this situation, because again, I'm not gonna pretend that it's not a tough situation. It is an actual tough situation when you get so few guys out there trying to do the right thing, and that person in your life, that decision that you're gonna be making is so damn important that you're torn from a place of, okay, this person who, it's Bill Belichick, someone that you admire, someone that all young boys admire, especially if you're into football and things of that nature. We admire the guy because of what he's accomplished on the field. So you're torn from a place where what the hell? It's a confusing place to be, and I get it. But here's the piece of advice that helped me get through that whole situation. And since that time, by the way, from when I went through, I've become 5-time published author, become a public speaker, become a public figure. I have, built the #1 podcast on innovative teamwork, and the girl that I'm referring to tried starting up her own thing, and that went flat. Is doing absolutely just nothing in the public speaking world, and the things that I wanted out of her. She just wasn't the person that I had considered or thought that she was. All right. And what got me through that situation, because it's a difficult thing to get through, but when you get through it, you learn something that I had heard before that, but it became true. All right, you learn this. All right, and men, listen closely when I tell you this. All right, you will always lose money chasing women, but you'll never lose women chasing money. All right, take that piece of advice and absolutely just run with it, because here's what's going to start to happen. You will start to act, if you really believe it and you know it's true, you know it is exactly on point. I can't even give credit to the person who I first heard say it. It was in a movie somewhere, and I picked up on it because, again, I've grown up with an older sister. I grew up around hearing a lot of women tell a lot of stories, going through a lot of hard times. And when that quote hit, it hit to the point where it had stuck with me throughout my entire life, which is, again, you will always lose money chasing women, but you're never going to lose women chasing money. And the question now becomes, as you're in your evaluation process, it's one, when you evaluate your life and the people that are in your life, you start to say this: how do I get to my bag, which is money, which is how do I get to, financial abundance and being where I want to be financially? And is the woman in my life, is she, or the woman that I'm potentially going after, is she helping me get to my bag? It clarifies the whole thing. All the other stuff can be figured out as you go, but that has to be the questions. It cannot be any exterior. It has to be, how am I going to get to my bag, and does she help me get to the bag? Period, point blank, end of sentence. Again, I'll have more on this as we react to it, and we see the Super Bowl play out, and we get to Valentine's Day and all the things going on. But I just had to address that because I meant to address it a couple of days ago, but some things got in the way. But now, as we're getting there, we're in a new week. It had to be something that your one and only Move Swiftly speaker speaks on. So all that being said, main website to check out to dive deeper into all my work, it's makeyourmove.com. That's MakeYaMove.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs. As one, Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker. Check it out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.